For decades, people around the world have displayed a range of special powers and abilities. These powered beings came together and built superpowered cities to thrive in. My name is Angus, and I'm a journalist for the Daily Deposit. My partner Sal and I interview the citizens of Super City, investigating incidents and exploits, and helping where we can, holding the powerful accountable. Because heroes don't do paperwork.
Alright, and then I plugged this in, and we've got audio good. Alright, the monitors look good. We're recording. Excellent. Alright. Well, everyone, thank you for joining me for another episode of The Sal Files. This episode titled The Great Christmas Caper. Let's begin. We open on a dark street. The slush fills the gutters like crime fills the alleyways, and Detective Sal Bedfellow is on the prowl for crime. And he enters into a room and he sees crime being committed, and he figures now's the time to intervene.
Hey,
Oh dear.
Sal? Is that you?
Yes, it is.
Hey, I'm just gonna flick some of these lights on. Hey, man.
Hey.
How's it going?
At the moment,
I'm interrupting something, aren't I?
a little bit. I was recording an audio novella.
Oh, okay.
About the
This is
Sal
awkward.
Files.
I came into the office. I didn't expect you to be in here. I thought everyone was kind of off for the holidays. So,
Well,
this is
that's funny. I came here because I didn't expect anyone to be here. I wanted to make sure the building was secure before the holidays started.
Okay.
On top of that, the roads had to be plowed, so I had to vacate my apartment.
Your apartment. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Your apartment had to get moved to the other side of the street. Sal, do you want me to go? Do you want me? I can
You're
go
already
right out
here. It's fine. Don't worry. I can record it later.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
No,
I got a little bit of it. It sounded like a really special thing you were working on there.
It's not complete unless the sound effects are in there. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. The moment's passed. Look, I have a little ritual. You can see I have my seltzer and my cider. And I have my incense burning. Like the atmosphere is ruined.
Was it? And it was like you were kind of going. I know it was an audio thing, but you were kind of going for a film noir type thing.
Yes,
right?
An audio noir. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's because I can tell because you're painted in grayscale.
Yes, I really do like to sink into it fully.
Yeah. Wow. Huh.
Hey.
Okay. All right. Well, hey. Well, I should. The gear's already set up, and I mean we're both here.
You've already got your headphones on, so
I mean I kind of always got these suckers on. I find it's better for people to leave me alone if I've got a big pair of cans on walking down the street.
Right.
Do you want to record a quick episode maybe?
Sure.
Get one out.
We can cut out the Sal Files part from the beginning of this, though, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'll leave a note for myself to do that.
Sweet. All right.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, I'll just sit down here and just... Hello, super citizens, and welcome to Heroes Don't Do Paperwork, the only podcast about events both big and small. I'm one of your hosts, Angus, joined by my co-host, just Sal Bedfellow.
You don't have to take digs like that, all right?
No,
I'm just trying to express myself.
I know. I didn't mean. Okay, I realized that probably came off like a dig. I like the costume. I think it looks good. It's like a good. It's a big hat.
It is
a big hat.
It is.
But I like it. It's a big style.
You need a wide brim when you want to gaze out from under it at the seedy underbelly of society.
Yeah, and when you want that smoke from like a cigarette to kind of hang under that too for a little bit, and that really traps it in there. I feel like
that's why I always have red eyes after recording one of these episodes.
Oh, okay.
I'll level with you, Angus. I had other plans this evening.
Yeah.
Aside from recording what I guess now is an episode of Heroes Don't Do Paperwork, which is fine. Which is fine.
It's totally fine.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
I had other plans, so I was going to be doing a security review of the Daily Deposit building.
Okay. Yeah. So just to catch listeners up, Sal and I, we're journalists here at the Daily Deposit. It's holiday times in Super City right now, so everyone's kind of taking a lot of time off, even this newspaper. So the office is empty. I needed a place to stay, so I came here and I found it. I actually think I might have seen some preparations of yours for the security.
Yes. Oh, you
saw
started
those?
It already?
Yeah. I did.
Please,
I
which one did you
ask
see?
Well, okay, so I took the stairs because the elevator just... I'll let you decide. I'll let you explain what you did to the elevator. But the elevator did not look like it was usable right now. So I took the stairs.
Right.
And every second or third floor, I'd trip a wire and a paint can would come swinging down. The first one caught me in the chest. You can see this nice big bruise I've got now. I do think you broke one of my ribs. Yeah. It is. It hurts quite a bit. But
did you reset the trap when you were done with it?
I did not, no.
Okay, 1 second. Reset paint can traps.
Just making notes. Yeah, sorry, I set off most of them. There's a couple. By the third or fourth one, I started to kind of get it.
To clue into it, but you figured you'd take another couple cracks just in case it wasn't a pattern.
Bingo.
I can see that goose egg on your head as well.
Yeah, that was that one hurt too a lot. I'm pretty dizzy. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so security. So okay, so you're staying here for the holidays, and you wanted to beef up security. Like, what caused this?
Well, I am concerned about this new dystopian super city that we live in, and I've realized that we can't necessarily rely on others to protect ourselves. So I have taken a more libertarian approach to defending this office building.
I kind of get what you mean, Sal. Like with the acts of heroism actually being like monetized and people profiting off them. You can't always guarantee on the kindness of others to help you out. So I understand the sentiment, Sal.
I've noticed the other day. Sorry, I want to get back into the securities around it, but you mentioned the monetization of heroic acts, and I think this is an important thing to bring up. The other day, I got mugged. Right, I was getting out of my apartment, right, to go use the washroom at the corner store.
Yeah.
I was getting out of my apartment, and I got mugged. And fortunately, there was a hero right there. But before they would intervene and start heroing, they asked for a tip before they had even done anything. So I go, well, how much did you want a tip? And I felt awkward because I'm like, well, if I give him a low tip, he may not do much. So I tipped 18%, was not the right amount. He actually the hero took my wallet after he took it from the mugger and he left.
So you just kind of got mugged, and then while you were getting
twice
mugged,
getting out of my apartment.
Yeah, you got like extorted. Okay, wow. Well, that's not great. That's a bummer.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, the hero may not have been a hero. He didn't have a costume on.
Oh no. Okay. So well, it's hard to tell sometimes.
It's hard to tell sometimes. I was in distress.
Yeah.
Have you had any negative run-ins with heroes lately?
Kind of.
He's thinking.
Sorry, there's just so many lately. Honestly, it's tough. I've had run-ins with people with superpowers, and like you're saying, like a lot of these people are just plain clothes. Can I tell you something? So I think the holiday season has everyone stressed here in Super City, and everyone's being real crabby. You know, in fact, I was going to a store the other day, a store that shall remain nameless. That's the store it's called.
No, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, okay,
remains nameless.
Yeah. And I was trying to get a gift for someone really important to me. I was trying to get a gift, and I was reaching for this gift on the shelf, and a speedster just kind of came through and took it from me. Even though I'm pretty sure I had my hand on it, but it's hard to tell, and they could just zoom through, they take it, and then they would come back. They did a couple laps around to taunt me, mostly stuff about, too slow, think fast, really, really hacky shit. But just really, it hurt all the same. It really hurt all the same.
That is despicable. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, it's cool. But so you're making this place more secure,
right? I cannot rely on heroes anymore. So, pursuing my new libertarian belief system, I have. It's a whole belief system.
I get you. Yeah.
I have started to set up my own security perimeter. It starts at the front door. All right.
Yes.
Okay. I have started by just putting a bunch of water at the entryway, and so if someone were to step there, they would slip. You probably were able to walk in fine because I had only just put it down. It hadn't frozen yet.
Yeah,
but I imagine by like midnight tonight, it'll be nice and slick. And someone tries to walk in through the front door, slip, and
nice.
And so then I had the thought: we have a lot of windows in the lobby. What happens if they bypass the door? Right? What happens if they bypass my ice trap? They decide to break in through a window. So I put a couple of military-grade claymores.
Okay. Yeah.
If they go through the window, just boom, get it.
Okay, Sal, I'm seeing a bit of a break in the pattern here. The water, the paint cans, these were a little do-it-yourself kind of. There's almost a charm to them. I guess my question is, where did you get military-grade claymores?
Store will remain nameless. They got everything.
Oh, really? They do have everything. Okay, I guess that's if they remain nameless, they can't be charged.
Be traced.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
And I actually take a little bit of offense to the fact that a claymore is not do-it-yourself. I had to put it in the ground. I had to make sure it was pointing the right direction. You do not want to make those point the wrong direction.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Okay. Well, so I'm glad I didn't take the window because that would have been bad. Okay.
Other security defenses that I've set up, of course, you brought up the elevator earlier. That one I'm really proud of. So, you're familiar with the elevator we have in the lobby. For our listeners who have maybe never seen this elevator, it's an elevator. Doesn't really need to be described much better than that. You've seen one elevator.
Yeah, no, you've seen an elevator. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
What I've done is I put drywall over that elevator. So it's masked into the wall.
Yeah.
And then, beside it, I cut a hole in the drywall to mimic an elevator, except it just drops.
It just drops. Yeah, because there's just an empty shaft next to our elevator.
Right.
Wow. That's pretty wild. And it's got there's a paper mache floor in there, it looks like.
Yeah, so you can take like a little, you're like, oh, it's safe, and then you take a 7-inch.
Yeah. What's at the bottom? Is there anything at the bottom of the pit, or is it just a big drop?
At the moment, nothing. But if the trap gets sprung, a body.
Good. That'll scare the next person off too. If they look down, they'll see. Okay, spooky. Okay.
And
so I guess
then we're already pre-decorating for Halloween next year. Thinking ahead.
So honestly, Sal, you've really prepared. This mugging's really gotten you kind of rattled a little bit. So you're kind of hunkering down here in the office for the holidays?
Yep, I have lost all faith in the state. I have a bug-out bag prepared. And I've decided to just live fully off the grid by living in this office space for the holidays.
Okay. Well,
then ideally my apartment will be returned after having been towed away. So
yeah, of course. Okay, well, this is a little awkward because I also need a place to stay.
Oh,
and so I figured I'd just come crash at the office. But once again, I didn't expect anyone to be here. So I hate to ask, but would it be okay if I also kind of hunkered down here at least for the holidays?
I have no problem with this. However, you are going to need to learn the lay of the land of all the traps I've set.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of open for.
You're going to need to know all of them. And it's a big building. I'm going to cover the highlights, but there is an exhaustive amount to read. That's in this manual here. but this is more cutesy
Yeah.
blueprint that I've set up here should
Yeah, crayon. Yeah.
crayon.
Yeah.
It should cover most of the important ones.
Bad guys. Okay. Yep. Gotcha. Okay. Well, just yeah. Hey, I really appreciate this. Because I couldn't really crash. The Barkers. I was telling you about the Barkers, that family I was staying with.
Yes, the ones that are treating you like a pet.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, yeah. So, well, okay. So they went away to, like I said, they're super wealthy. They went away to, they got out of the city. Lots of people get out of the city for the holidays. All the snow, all the sleet, all the ice storms, all the
Salt on
hijinks.
the ground is really bad for their paws too.
Oh yes, yeah. Their paws hate it. Well, so I got. They didn't want to take me with them, so they put me in a kennel, with a bunch of dogs, like real dogs,
of course.
And it just wasn't a really good place. It was a bad. Sal, I'm gonna be honest. It was a bad place.
No.
It was a. It was a kennel and also a dog fighting arena at night.
Dear.
And I just I mean, Sal, you know me.
Your hands are still all taped up. Did you win your fight?
No, I wish I did. I'm all taped up, but I got armbarred by a German Shepherd, and it was not good, man. It was not good. So actually, what I did was God, I honestly would have been a good thing to have the tapes rolling for. I orchestrated this whole prison break essentially.
Oh wow!
And I broke myself and all these other dogs out of this kennel.
Oh,
so
wait, I can actually see something poking out from the neckline of your shirt. Is this a tattoo of the kennel?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Whole map of the interior of this kennel space.
Yeah. Well, it was done by a Boston Terrier, so it's not exactly the cleanest lines. But yeah, no, this throat tattoo, which is canon now, it's artistic and it's kind of got a gothic look to it. But it is if you look really closely, it's an approximation of the map that makes up this kennel I was trapped in.
Even though it was done by a dog, and I have seen better tattoo, this is still solid tattoo.
Thank you. And when it heals, it's going to look a lot better. Arguably, I probably could have just done the escape without the tattoo, but we wanted to commit to it. And that Boston Terrier was convincing. Pebbles, he sold me on it.
Pebbles, his partner in crime.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see Pebbles again sometime. But yeah, so I just really appreciate it. I've been I've been on the run a little bit because they've been hunting for me. The kennel people, they know that I orchestrated the whole thing. The dogs tried to do a kind of I'm Spartacus type thing where we all took credit, but I'm clearly the only one that speaks like English.
This crime could have only been committed by someone with thumbs.
Yeah, exactly. So and honestly, that's basically was the crux of the escape was I'm able to open doors and stuff like that. So me and all those dogs escaped, but yeah, we're definitely on the run, on the lam, if it were. And I figured I could lay low here. And actually, now that I think about it, your traps could prove helpful in case any of these
the dog trap,
these dog catchers come for me.
I had designed these traps with the intent of catching criminals, but the nice thing about criminals and dog catchers is that there's a surprising overlap in the fact that they're people.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, surprising. Well, I appreciate this. I really do, Sal. I haven't gotten a good restful. It hasn't even really felt like the holidays for me. I mean, ever since we came back to Super City, I haven't really gotten to settle in. It's a lot of unfamiliar faces. So it's just nice to be somewhere calm with you. I don't know. Maybe we can spruce this up a bit. Do you want to get some some hot chocolate going or something?
Oh, wow. That's great.
Right?
Well, we can get some hot chocolate going. I can get my incense relit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's turn over this garbage can and fill it with paper, and we can get a little fire going.
Okay, yeah, totally. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll work on the fire, and then maybe you get the hot chocolate, and we'll meet back here after. We'll throw a quick ad in, we'll meet back, and we'll talk about what we're doing for the holidays.
Okay.
I'm Tom Zalatni,
And I'm Tefera Jemian.
and we're the hosts of the No Bad Food podcast.
No Bad Food is a show about great food and the people who love to make and eat it. Our mandate is simple: to explore, taste, and learn about food in ways that celebrate all the things that make it great.
Every week we dig into a different dish, meal, ingredient, cuisine, or piece of food media, exploring the history and culture around it, sharing favorite recipes, and learning from our wonderful guests.
The only rule?
You gotta love it.
After all, there's no such thing as bad food.
Find us in the Pod Cavern or wherever fine podcasts are sold.
Oh yeah, okay, that's going pretty good. Whew.
That is a nice fire. And that was an even better ad. If I could add something, I would like to say thank you.
Yeah, well, yes, that's thank you, to the folks of the Pod Cavern, the other shows going on, really helping us out, getting this show out to more people.
If you ever pass the Pod Cavern, don't be afraid of those disembodied voices. They're ours.
Calling to you from the yawning Pod Cavern. Climb inside. See what you'll find. I bet it'll be a good time. Man, we got to start writing some of this stuff down.
Pod Cavern should hire us to do more advertising for them.
Ooh, oh yeah, thank you. Oh, wow, that's hot. That's hot.
It is hot. Because
Is that chocolate?
it's like chocolate.
Okay, explain.
So, as you know, I'm very poor.
Yes.
I got mugged, so I have even less money. So I
That's
was
true.
thinking to myself, what is like chocolate that you could melt and put into a cup? And then it occurred to me. So I went outside
Yeah.
and I got some slush.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then I put it in a cup and I melted it. And now you're drinking it.
Well, Sal, oh wow, you really dug into that. Well, Sal, it's the thought that counts with a lot of these things. So I really appreciate it. Thanks, man.
No problem. Hey, I'm
I'm
glad
just gonna
that
put this down for a bit.
I'm glad that we could spend these holidays together. And I can't think of a more fun holiday activity than us talking about more booby traps. I'm really proud of them.
Please, I could tell. Honestly, Sal, you've got a bit of a skip in your step these days, and I would love for you to tell me more about some of these traps.
Okay, so let's do the traps that I have set up on this floor.
Okay.
A lot of them are pretty straightforward. Tripwire,
Okay.
tripwire, head-hanging wire. That's a wire that hangs down and loops around your head, and then when you pull against it, it tightens.
Yeah.
And then it pulls up,
Yeah.
and you dangle there from your neck.
Yeah.
It's like a tripwire for your feet, except it's your neck, and you dangle. I call it a dangle wire.
Okay. Spicy spike pit. Is this like this giant sphere here?
That is
this
just
gonna
a giant
roll?
sphere. Yeah, it rolls.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it
Crushes.
just rolls.
Yeah.
Brushes. Okay.
Oh, this one's fun. This one has what appears to be a very valuable item at the far end of a cubicle.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you
Yeah, that's
enter
a very-
into the space, and then the walls of the cubicle slowly close in on you.
Yeah, it's a stapler, and it's in a for listeners. There's a stapler on like a pedestal here, and it's bathed in a nice cone of light. I won't lie. If I didn't know there's a trap there, I'd probably reach for it. So okay, good to know. So you get crushed by cubicle. Hey, Sal, I gotta ask, how did you learn how to make all these traps? You and I've been friends for a while, and I don't know if we've ever talked this much about traps before. I'm sure it's come up, but
So as you know, I live in the back of a car, and there's only one real channel on the rear view mirror of that car, which is whatever's happening behind me. I got bored of that very quickly, because you can only watch someone pee in an alleyway so many times before it's just played out.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I started reading this book here, The Libertarian Manifesto.
Okay, yes. I see, yes. How to defend your homestead. Okay, gotcha. Okay. What's yours is yours, and what's mine could be yours.
What's yours is yours if you have the ability to defend it, and if not, then it's mine.
Wow. Okay. So you've been doing some light reading. Wow. A lot of
Mhm.
earmarked pages in here. Okay. Okay.
And
This
so,
was this was in the back seat.
there's a lot of stuff in
Okay.
the back seat of my apartment.
Yeah.
But this was the most interesting. The other stuff may come up at a later time, but we'll focus
Oh,
on
sure.
this one. I don't want to do too much backseat stuff.
No, of course.
No. But this book has been excellent for teaching me how to make booby traps. It's also
Yeah.
taught me a lot about the lies of the state.
Yeah. Of
Taught
course.
me a lot about the illusion that is society.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it's also taught me a lot about how to refine my own urine. And so I always have water readily available.
Okay. And how's that project? Okay. How's that project coming along?
How's your hot chocolate?
Oh no! Oh god! I wish this wasn't the first time I'd actually drank someone's urine on the show, but alas, it is
It's
not.
refined. It's what
It's
astronauts do. That's what the book says.
I know that's not true. What year was this book written?
1974.
Oh boy. Okay. Well. Okay.
It refers to the banking system as a pyramid of lies built from the bones of the working class.
Okay. Well, not entirely wrong there, I suppose. A lot of exploitation here in a super city. So, okay. Well, Sal, I don't know. I just feel like this doesn't feel particularly like holiday-y, you know? Is there anything in the book about holidays, maybe?
None that you would want to celebrate.
Okay. Well, okay. How about this? What are some? Because you and I, we've been around a while. We're no young spring. I mean, I'm young and hip, but we've celebrated plenty of holidays. Are there any traditions around this time of year that you like or that you miss that you haven't been able to celebrate?
One of my favorite holiday traditions that happened with a frightening amount of frequency was that I would go out and play, and then I would get locked outside. And so I would...
This is when you were a kid?
This is when I was a child,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And so I would have to play outside and find ways to keep warm and to feed myself for the day. And then finally, my mother would unlock the door and welcome me inside. And then we would get all warmed up. Or rather, I would warm myself up. My mother would go back to her TV bingo game. You're familiar with TV bingo.
Yeah,
You're on the phone the entire time, and you're listening to them call out the numbers and the letters. And then you shout
TV
into the
bingo on
receiver,
the phone.
bingo, and then hopefully you win.
I get you.
My mother was a huge TV bingo addict.
Well.
But I had a lot of fun learning how to nullify hypothermia.
Yeah.
So that's a fun we could go do that. We could go outside and get very cold and wet. And then go, please let us in, Mom, please. The other children are warm. And then we come inside and we get in our 3-year-old footy pajamas and we get nice and comfy.
I'll tell you what, that sounds like fun. The only problem is we'd have to reset all those traps on our way back in. So why don't we we've already got this nice fire going. Why don't we do some marshmallows?
Okay.
I probably actually have some marshmallows on my desk. I keep a lot of I'm a really snacky guy, so I keep a lot of snacks hidden around.
Marshmallows, a classic day snack.
Oh yeah. Well, I have a problem with sugar. I love sugar, that kind of thing. So yeah, I've got some. Oh yeah, yep. Okay, they're a little stale. Okay, that's yeah. But we could put some of these on a stick maybe. What we got sticks? I got pencils.
We put them on pencils. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Okay. So we just do some marshmallows. I know this is more of a camping
really good
thing.
for penetrating the
yeah. For getting it
exterior of these marshmallows.
Yeah. I mean, so I know. You had a bit more of a survivalist upbringing, I'm learning. But, when I was a kid, you do marshmallows and stuff like that, gingerbread houses, make a snowman, these kinds of things. Of
You
course,
had
some
enough money as a child to build a second house of gingerbread in your real house?
Okay, I realize that does sound super privileged, but this was not like one of those fancy life-size gingerbread houses you
Oh,
see,
okay.
you know. This was a small one. This was like a make-believe type one.
My family had to spend a Christmas in the bakery district in a gingerbread house. We were
That's
rooming with a witch, and she kept
oh
trying to
no.
bake me.
I'm learning so much about you, Sal, and how terrible your upbringing was. But you know what? That's I find that is part of the holiday season. A lot of people, some people lean into like the happiness of the season, and sometimes the happiness of the season really kind of just reminds a lot of people of worse times. I get that, Sal. I get that. I'm really sorry about that. I'm
It,
really sorry about all that.
it's fine. I feel like I've grown into a well-adjusted man.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
no, definitely,
100%.
definitely. And honestly, you like I don't think you would have been able to do all these tripwires and stuff like that if you didn't have a little bit of grit, to your
Hmm.
upbringing. We'll put it like that. You had a very gritty upbringing.
True.
Yeah.
All right. I've said a lot about some of my Christmases. You've talked surface level about
Yeah.
some Christmas traditions, but what's your
Yeah.
favorite Christmas memory?
Oh, my favorite Christmas memory. Shit, that's tough, but I think I've got it. When I was a kid, obviously a big fan of superheroes, right?
Hmm.
Now, one Christmas, my mom and dad, times were tough. A little, it was hard to make money in Super City for a long time for a lot of people. Um, but my parents pulled through, and they got me this poster actually, and it wasn't actually any particular superheroes, right? It was just kind of it was a superhero poster, but the face was like a mirror.
Oh,
Yeah, and they hung it up in my room, and every day I would look into this kind of little mirror, and then it was a mirror face, but it was like a big muscly superhero with a cape, and they were flying and saving people and stuff like that. And yeah, I really like that used to make me think. In fact, and the poster said, try to do the right thing.
oh,
um
that's where that's
yeah.
from.
Yeah, that's where that's from, I guess. Yeah, right. Yeah, I never really thought about it. I never put that together. Honestly, I'm accessing this memory. I haven't really thought about this in a long time. But I guess that, I didn't have any powers as a kid, like, and still don't. But my parents didn't let that get me down. They,
Hmm.
they, they, they tried to, they tried to treat me like all the other kids. But yeah, I think so. Something like that. Maybe just the time I spent with my family. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen all them.
Yeah, it has been. In
Yeah.
fact, did you ever clarify with your mother and brother that you're still alive?
I didn't, to be honest.
Huh.
I didn't. I thought maybe I'd come home, and after the 5-year time jump when we went dimension hopping, I thought maybe there'd be some messages on my phone when I came back, but there wasn't. So,
Eh,
yeah, man, the holidays are rough, dude. Honestly, I don't think about this stuff any time of year, and then I start thinking about like how little my family calls me, or like, are holidays just a scam?
Angus,
Yeah,
maybe I can share one last holiday memory of my own that may put the spirit of the holiday season into perspective.
yeah.
One of my younger years, at Christmas, my mother got put up for adoption by my grandmother. And all of a
Okay.
sudden, I
Yeah.
was without a mother for Christmas.
Wow.
And it was very sad. And so what I had to do was I had to go and scrounge up every penny I could, every nickel, and I had to go to the orphanage and I had to adopt my mother so that I would have a family in time for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think that right there is the spirit of Christmas, is that it doesn't matter what obstacles are presented to you, no matter, as long as you do what you can to spend Christmas with those you care about, then that's a good Christmas right there.
Wow.
Unfortunately, my request to adopt my mother got denied because I was a young child.
Yeah.
So I was alone that Christmas. But I
Okay.
feel the core of the message still counts.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wish I'd maybe mentioned this earlier. I was trying to build up to it. But you're talking about being alone for Christmas. I kind of have another favor to ask you. I know you were
Please
cool
share.
with me. Well, you're cool with me staying here, with you while we kind of get our spaces sorted out for the holidays. But I kind of actually might have some other people that want to stay. Well, dogs. The dogs I escaped with from the kennel.
Mm-hmm.
They're outside, and I told them that I would check to see if it was all clear, and then I'd let them in. Would you be okay with just having a bunch of dogs running around this holiday season at the office?
We will have to go down to the 3rd floor because this floor we're on currently is not
It's a pretty
dog
trapped.
safe.
Yeah. I figured we could maybe see if
The
would
3rd
that be,
floor is full of traps that are dog safe.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, hey man, I really appreciate that. And honestly, it's 20 or 30 dogs, and they'll be out of here once the snow starts to melt. It's all good.
Do you want to know why the 3rd floor is safe for dogs?
I won't lie. I definitely do. Why?
It's full of anti-personnel mines, and the dogs are not personnel, so it's fine.
We'll get them in here safely. Okay. Well, Sal, just kind of before we wrap things up here, I wanted to do one more thing for you. I actually got you a gift.
Oh,
If that's cool. I know that can be weird with friends sometimes, but like really, you are like the only like constant in my life right now, and I just wanted to thank you, for being such a good friend, and I mean, honestly, kind of like a mentor these last couple of years, So I wanted to get you something to thank you. So I've got this. I didn't really have time to wrap it.
oh
But,
my God! It's
yeah,
beautiful.
It's now, and I didn't think this would be a good idea when I first got it. It was literally the last thing I could get at the store that shall remain nameless.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, now I think you might actually be up your alley. It's a bayonet.
Wow.
It's a bayonet, and you can
affix
affix this
perfectly to the end of my pen. Look at that.
Yeah, pen. You can put it on a coffee mug. It's got a pretty modular fixture, but I just thought, just kind of keep everyone at the end of a point,
Mm-hmm.
So I hope this holiday season kind of meets you well, and I hope you can use this and feel a little safer.
This is a truly wonderful gift, Angus. And it's funny. I also got you a gift. Now, there's a bit of a story to it.
Okay.
The Libertarian Manifesto says that gifts are lies perpetrated by capitalists.
Yeah. Of
However,
course.
the Libertarian Manifesto also says to not follow any established doctrine. So I'm going to ignore that rule so that I can give you this gift. And I was thinking to myself, what could Angus benefit from? I realized in this heavily monitored world, this world where privacy is at an all-time minimum, the thing you can benefit the most is this identity obscuring face makeup kit.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So, okay, cool. Oh, okay. So it's like a disguise kit? I can
You can smear this paint over your face and you can take on the guise of anything.
Oh, wow. Sal, this is awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love this kind of stuff. Oh, man.
Look, there's even a little manual in here that shows you all the different identities you can take on. There's one that lets you put a star over your eye. This one here.
Cool. Yeah, it's a lot of black and white. There's like cat makeup. Like a demon. Wow. Well, this is great. Sal, thank you. Man, honestly. This is great. Wow.
You like it.
I love it. Thank you.
Oh, all right. Those dogs of yours are probably freaking out right now. So we should
They
go
probably
move
are.
in.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Let's go do that. Just 1 sec. That's gonna do it for us here at Heroes Don't Do Paperwork. For those of you listening at home, remember, try to do the right thing. And happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. Oh,
All
hey, Angus, do you hear that?
What?
You
What
hear
is it?
that?
I do. What?
Someone sprung the elevator trap.
Hey everybody, Angus here. As always, Sal Bedfellow is played by Matthew Wally. If you like the show and want to support it, or any of the other shows on the Podcavern network, head on over to podcavern.com and check out our merch store. We've got lots of cool hats, hoodies, t-shirts, stuff like that. Anything you buy there helps us keep the lights on here. Thanks for listening, and happy holidays. Heroes Don't Do Paperwork will be back in the new year.